welcome on behalf of Studio Theater Gallery. Tonight we are we are gathering to inaugurate Rabih's Mroué virtual workspace in Studio Theater. We have Rabih present with us. Hello.
Hello.
Rabih.
Hi.
As well, we have with us representatives of a partner of this ongoing virtual spaces project, Onasi Stegi. Welcome, Iliana Dimadi. Hello, Iliana. Iliana is the head of dramaturgy at Onasi Stegi, and Cristina Liatta, who's the head of tours and international co-productions. So we're now in the week of presenting first moments of this project. We're going to take this opportunity in anticipation of coming workshop of Rabih, which will take place in July online. So this is a great and perfect moment to enter your virtual workspace, to get to know you more. And if you don't mind, I will say a few things about you also to introduce you a bit more to a Polish audience. Okay?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so Rabih Mroué is a Lebanese artist who is currently working in Berlin and living in Berlin. Right, he's an artist, actor, director, works with theater, and also is very present as well in the field of visual arts. His work blends reality and fiction. It's a critical deconstruction of an image as well. Rabih works with archives, footage, with the authority, and many other other things. Yes.
Thank you. It looks like any other artists do the same. I think so, no? Anyway.
Well, I mean, you're a very, very special artist, I think. And it's a great pleasure to have a conversation with you tonight.
Thank you.
So maybe before we talk further about Rabih's work and the studio, you have something to show us, right?
We start with the video.
Or you prefer to show it a bit later? How do you?
I thought later maybe it's just like okay. Let's talk a little bit more. Is it fine?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so maybe wondering like the question that has to happen in a way, like. In the context of a corona crisis, how did it affect you? How did it affect your work at this very moment?
It's like one thing. It's like this. This situation was like affecting the whole world, which was something like you can feel like you are not alone in this situation. Which was something really special for us as Lebanese, or like countries such as Lebanon, where like there always we had like very difficult situations like wars mainly, where we were locked in our country, and we can see like we are almost alone. Confined because of the war, not because of a virus, locked in, and the whole world is going on living. And so this is the first time that we feel that we are not alone, like the whole world is living the same and experiencing the same situation, which was strange in a way, and it gives you like in a way like a feeling that you have to slow down and not to worry so much because you are not alone. It's not the same when like there are war in Lebanon. You feel like you are alone. Here, I didn't feel that I'm alone. And also there are another reason that it happened that I'm in Berlin, living not in Beirut. And like the German authorities are really like taking care of the citizens and the inhabitants in their country. Unfortunately, not like our government in Lebanon, where like they are just have speeches, and the situation is very difficult in Lebanon today, where there is like economically the country is collapsing, bankrupted, very difficult life to live. So I didn't. I know I did not answer your question, because I think like now the answer, if it will come, it will be the same as everybody in the world. Like, so it's like I spend my time as anyone in the world, like anyway, at home, cooking, sleeping, working slowly on things that I usually put them aside. Don't feel pressure of like deadlines or etc. There is like a kind of a solidarity with the whole world, like with each other, which was really nice. Also, like then you can also don't think anymore about the quality of the work, but about like what you are sharing. Put your eye like aside, like don't look about if the work is good or not really criticize the artworks from the artist. Just like it's just like the importance was is just like to share and to give something to others, and this was by itself something good.
And has anything new happened to you, like in the way you present your work during this time?
Yes and not, because I'm used to work with the cameras and addressing the audience through a mediator, which is the lens. I used to do this in many performances since many years. Even I had like sometimes some cases, such as in 2008. We had like a small, a little civil war in Lebanon, and the country was blocked, and I was supposed to go to Japan to present a performance, and I could not go there physically. So we proposed to them to do it via Skype, and it worked. It was like, of course, not as in theater, but taking into consideration the case at that time, it was by itself an event, and artistically saying a lot also. Because like it's since many years we're thinking about the new technologies, about like going out and meeting people without using your body. So it's the images and the text and words, and meeting in a virtual spaces like now our meeting today. So it was like since many years like a material to reflect upon. And with the corona situation this last months, it's actually it pushed this situation to the extreme. But we had it before. Like people were like spend a lot of time on their Facebook, social media, Twitter, on their mobile phones. You see them like in the public spaces, in a bus or a metro, or even a theater. Before they come to show the piece, they are like sometimes alone, just with their device, talking with someone else elsewhere. So the corona actually it pushed this case into the extreme, and it forced everybody in the world to think about it. And this was really something very interesting. And now we are like in the midst of this case.
I would like also just to address our audience on Facebook right now, just to say that please feel free to comment during this conversation, to share your thoughts, questions. We will be looking at them and trying to weave them into our conversation. So please do so. And Christina and Iliana, I was wondering how is it from your perspective at the very moment?
I've been thinking of asking something provocative to Rabih. I know that you've been working mainly with sharing representations of death, fabricating images on this ambivalent materialism of death between tragedy and comedy. How is the representation of death in Corona times?
It's very interesting question.
Even it is a serious question.
No, it's very interesting because it's like a remark that that some thinkers, artists, even individuals that had it, and my partner Lina also said it to me, which was the first time we are talking about casualties, talking about a war, because like everybody was talking about a war, especially males, politicians and responsibles. They were talking about how we have to fight this virus, like, and using terminologies from war. So it was the first time that there was a lack of images of this enemy. And even there was a lack of images of the casualties, like the dead people, the suffering. We don't have images of all this. Like we don't know how, like if someone is affected by the virus, corona, what image of her or of him we don't have. So there is a lack of images. And this is something contrary to all the catastrophes, or like the wars or natural catastrophes, where there were like excessive and flux of images in the media. So this time there was lack of images. The images are very banal, like people putting the mask or like playing with the mask. But we didn't see any images that really disturb us. Of course, there is exceptions. I know there were some exceptions, that we had some images from the corona that were in a way trying to manipulate our feeling, as all other images from wars. Where like there were some images where we can see like a lot of dead people lying on the floor in a hospital, or like they are trying to bury them somewhere a lot. There are like very few images that came to us, but still this is assured what I'm saying, that there was a lack of images. And this is something very interesting, how to do a representation of this death and of this enemy, which is the corona. So how we can do representation of this when there is a lack of images, when the virus is invisible.
I mean, I would disagree whether the viruses are invisible in a way, because like one kind of stream of images where actually there's images under microscope of coronavirus that has been flowing into internet already since January, I think.
Yeah, it's like you have to have a microscope, right?
Well, I mean, it has been done for us, right? So like the media has been propagating these images made.
No, but I mean invisible, like you cannot encounter it physically, like unless it attacks your body, but you feel it, huh? You don't see it. It's contrary to all the other enemies that usually promoted by the media, like like terrorists or whatever, that you have like an image of this stereotype of an image of the enemy. Here there is no, of course, like there is an image, but it's an abstract image. It's an abstract image.
It's interesting that in this case of this virus, the enemy stops being the sickness, but it's your neighbor, it's your next door person, it's your friend. So it has, I mean, it's visual in our everyday movements, in our everyday, realities. It's very strange.
Even it's your hand is your enemy, huh? So this is why we have to wash every time, because it's an enemy for you, like, or collaborator with the enemy. So, I cannot hear you, Christina.
Yes, I was agreeing.
Yeah. Okay.
But at the same time, I find it really interesting that in the invitation to your studio for participants who've been already selected, you wrote about the experience of a confinement. Something that we all share.
Yes. It's but for the studio that I'm proposing for the participant that I will do next month is actually this reflection that I would like to share and to elaborate with the participants about the body as an image, where like we go out with our image, not with our bodies. So where is the temperature, the heat, where is the present, where we meet, where is here? Here is at your room or in my room or somewhere that we don't know in a virtual world. So all these questions that actually in a way fundamental for the performance, for live performances, where like live performances essentially it's about this encounter between people, between the audience and the artist, or like studios, even like the idea of the studio also, like it's like a meeting between the artist and visitors if you are inviting some people to your studio. So it's like this meeting where like you can meet physically and they can see your atelier, your studio, and you show them your works that are still unfinished, etc. So in our case today, like meeting on a cloud, meeting we don't know where, in this virtual space, it raises a lot of questions about how we do art today, how we do performing, how we do theater. What does it mean? How we use our body today? What the use of our body? What is the use of the language, etc., etc. So a lot of questions which I would love and I would like to share them with the participant when we will do the studio next month.
Yeah, I'm curious. Speaking about images, what's that behind your back? Share this with us.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a decoration for. I'm sitting in the kitchen, okay. So just to make it not a kitchen, I put this paper, which I had it from printing one of my books, and these are the photos that are in the book. It's a collage, and it's the print, the proof print before. So this what you are seeing behind me.
So it is yours.
Yeah.
Okay. How much does it cost?
Which is cost, like what? The book or what?
This one.
This one, this is not for sale. I can offer it to you. Send me your address. I send it to you. It's yours. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Speaking still about images, I think that all art is there to imagine what remains still unimaginable. So if you were to imagine the future, the immediate future of art, what would the image of this future be?
It's not easy question, to be honest, like how to predict the future. From my position as Lebanese who is living in Germany, I'm not sure, like the future for the Lebanese and the future of our country in Lebanon. You know, you passed this through this in Greece, this crisis, this economic crisis. The issue that in Lebanon is it's the same, but it's much more complicated, much more complex, because there are also wars interfering. It's not only economic thing. And the country is really threatens of its existence. So I'm really have big fear of the future. Although I am in Berlin, but nevertheless I still there. And this is one thing which also I could not solve till now, that you leave a place physically, but you're still there. Mentally and emotionally, you're still there. So I'm in Berlin, but I'm at the same time in Beirut or in Lebanon, and I'm really like when I talk with friends, with families that are in Lebanon, it's really very sad and very depressing, and you cannot see a good future. No, although like when we started the revolution in October 17, 2019, and Onassis went to Beirut and did this interview with me in Beirut. So
I'm gonna share it.
So we had like really at that time, I remember, I still have like, we had like a big hope for a change. We had a hope, although we all know that it's gonna be very, very difficult, not easy to change. But it's always like your imagination is not. It's not like when you meet with reality. When you see the reality coming, it's totally different. Even if you imagine that it's not difficult, but when it comes, you see that it's really unbearable. It's too much. So we still have hope. We still have hope. We don't have anything but to hope, and we will not give up this hope. It's little now, but that's it.
We already have some comments coming.
Okay.
Atina is talking about about what you've been saying about the performance in 2008 performing via Skype. So I understand this comment as to like, whether do you miss the feeling of the audience? She's writing a comment about missing the feeling of exhibitions audience, especially for performances.
It's a very difficult, not difficult, it's a different technique, I have to say. It's a technique that one can practice it and can use it. Like, it's exactly like preparing yourself to be an actor. There are like a lot of methods, a lot of schools, and now there is this method now how to imagine your audience, but this audience is actually is a lens. It's not people. So you have to imagine the reaction, and not to exaggerate, not to underestimate. Also, like it's a very weird experience to feel the presence of the audience, although the audience is invisible. You cannot see them. It's exactly like when you are in a theater and you are performing for an audience that are in a total darkness. So you know that they are there, but you cannot see them. They see you because you are under the light, but they are in a total darkness. You cannot see them. But you always imagine them, they are watching them. And I wrote something one day, and it's like one of my my obsessions is that, like, I always imagine myself like in a theater playing to an audience where there is a full house audience. Imagine like let's say 500, not much, but 500 full house, and then dark is off and the performance started. You cannot see the audience and you are focusing on your role, playing, giving, but it's very intimate, so there is no sound from the audience coming, so you don't hear the audience, you cannot see the audience. And when you finish, and this is always like a nightmare that I have, when the light comes on, you see nobody anymore in the audience. And they all left while you are playing, while you are performing, and you did not notice this. Then the light comes on and there's nobody there. It's like, so it is, it could be. And this is what I mean, like it's a technique, how to imagine the audience existing all the time, although they are not there, or they are there, but you cannot see them, they are invisible. So it's the same issue with the camera, with the Skype, with the Zoom today. We're doing this now from time to time now, like this. Now there is an audience that I cannot see, and unfortunately I cannot see them. I don't know how much they are. It's like very weird, like you don't know, maybe they are only 2 on Facebook, maybe they are, I don't know how many, you don't know. But you assume there are some, and that's good.
We only see a number. It's 38 right now.
Okay, great.
But about your fantasy, yeah, I was wondering. The question is like, yeah, were they even there? Were they even present? The audience becomes a kind of a specter.
Yes, they are spectre, and you are also a spectre. They're like we are all specters in a different ways, and we are meeting also in a spectre space, in a space as a spectre. So it's very interesting to think about.
I would disagree. You are a performance lecturer. You create a new genre along with your compatriots from Lebanon. You were the ones, like Rimini Protocol created their own format of documentary theater. You created your own genre of performing lectures, of performance talks. Do you feel that this is this might be a trend, you know, in our digital times? People using their digital formats, their laptops, and try to speak to others?
It's already
Yeah, it's already happening.
It's already happening, but maybe I have just to say that I did not invented it. It's like just like I pushed it maybe, or I used it in a different way, but I did not invented it. It was existing, and there were a lot of artists also doing this. Also, what Rimini Protocol did with documentary theater, also it was before. Like, of course, how they push it, it's in their own way, which was really very inspiring, the way. But we don't invent, to be honest. We don't invent. We continue. It's a process that, and this is actually the things with culture, with the humanities, science, humanities. I mean, that you can still speak with theories, with thinkers, with artists that belong to 100 years ago. You can bring them today and discuss and debate with them. This is why we are still debating with Aristotle, or like with the Greek theater, ancient Greek theater, or with Shakespeare. Like you can bring them, while with sciences, pure sciences, you cannot anymore like today to propose like things like horses, for example, to go from to participate in a festival. Let's say you are in Athens, and we invite you to Berlin for a festival, to come on a horse, or like this is but it was at that time, long time ago. It was, but now it can't be. There are other tools, and this is why like the laptop, mainly the laptop, which is portable. And the iPhone and the iPad, all these devices. Now it's our tools, and we will not get rid of, like we will not give up them. We work with them. This is our tools today. You cannot ask me today, please, no, I want you to write a letter and send it in the post. I tell you, like, if I live in Lebanon, I'm not sure I will receive this letter, because our system with the post is not so advanced as in Germany or in other cities. So it's much more reliable to work with social media or with the new technologies.
Rabih, I was thinking. Oh, I'm sorry, Simon.
No,
Just
please
go on.
Just a green comment. Horses, like laptops, are a green policy, at least.
Yeah.
No environmental catastrophe.
Okay.
Pollute. I wanted just to make a comment concerning that some of your last works were with the dance ensemble. So you entered the dance world, Rabih, a little bit the last years.
Yes.
I want just to make a remark speaking about tools and what artists have as I guess is the most affected from this lack of visual
Right.
connection to an audience and of the live stage. And I wouldn't be surprised if during your upcoming workspace in July, a lot of people from the dance community will be present, because knowing that in Greece, at least as far as I hear, as far as the dancers discuss among them, they are really devastated by this lack of the physicality of the. Since their body is their only tool, the craft is working with the members of their body. Just a remark.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it's a phase. We will not lose it. We will go back to hug ourselves, to hug each other. I mean, like not ours, to hug each other, and like to have like physical contact. It's not the end of this. I hope so, and we will go for it, like whatever. Like I think now it's coming back little by little. So yeah, like the use of the body, and but it's still a question. It's still a question, like for the dancers, how to deal with their bodies today. Not in the corona, not in the corona. I mean, like with the new technologies. There is something that is forced itself upon us as performers, whether we are actors or theater or dancers, that how we would use this, how we can renew and re-question ourselves. Like we cannot continue doing dance pieces or theater pieces as we have used to do them before. Like The new technologies is pushing us, and the problem is that it's very fast advanced. It's very fast, and we have to be all the time alert and working. You cannot like say like, oh, I have I have the answer. I find the solution. I find my way. No, it's every day there is like the same question is raised again, and you have to find another answer. It's every day, and this is something also like one of the missions of artists, as philosophers, as thinkers, writers, that every day you have to ask the same question and find another answers. Or if you find the same answer, but you have to find a new justification why the same answer is still valuable and available. Right.
I'm thinking maybe we could watch the material now.
Let me. Yeah, it's a video. It's a video that I did during this period. I did like little things, but this I would like to share with you. It's 2 minutes video called shock lines, chalk lines, like. So let me show it. Okay, and we talk later about. I'm sharing now the screen. Okay, so now you can see black, right? So I go. Sorry. Okay, it's going. Okay. Voilà.
Thank you, Rabih.
I hope it was clear for people. I don't know. It was clear. The video.
Was. Yeah,
You don't trust if I saw what you seen.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't maybe not the best with the sound, like, but I think the image worked. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Sleeping without a dream.
Sleeping without a dream. Yeah. What?
All lives matter. All lives matter.
All lives matter. Yeah.
They just recently, for example, in Polish context, in the in the context of attacks on LGBTQ community, some students actually did in Warsaw an action with a chalk. In the night,
Okay.
they've been drawing flags and their bodies, I think, as well on the streets. It was a night
Okay.
action. This,
Okay.
quite resonated with me.
It's yeah, it's like the shock lines. It's chalk lines. It's interesting because it's like it's immediately take you to the crime scene, but also to the absence of the victim. That it says that this is the body was there, like the absence of the body, but also the body that is that is the victim. And this these are like drawings that I did for an exhibition in Minneapolis in Walker Art Center. But the video I did it out from the drawings. Actually, I did it now during this 2 months, along with the music as well. Like, and it's mainly not about. It's not about Corona. This video. It's mainly about the refugees, the immigrants that they're trying to escape from one country to another, and they never made it. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to make
talking about the migrants and Corona. It was very coronavirus democratized death for us, democratized sickness for us. But we tend to forget that people like the migrants are always a step under all of us, and we tend to forget about them. We realized that in Greece very much during the Corona crisis, that we were all equal, opposite to the sickness, to the danger. But some people were less equal. I mean, they were more in danger than others, even in this situation, where democratization was global of this sickness.
Maybe one of the things that the virus did not come from the outside. Actually, it didn't come from the east or from China. It comes from the inside, from inside our body, and it's there. I think this could be something to think about, like that the virus is not coming from strangers or foreigners or like from outside. It's within your body. So how we can live with our viruses and how we can deal with our viruses, and not just to blame or like to put it on the others. That so I'm saying this because today the last years there is this culture of building walls to protect your country, your inside, your community, the body of the community from the outside. The outside is always the danger that brings viruses, brings disease, brings wars, brings whatever. So how, like, there are like these walls, like from the US Trump walls, to the Israeli wall, and to a lot of walls. Like in Lebanon, there is a lot of walls trying politicians to protect themselves from the people, from demonstrators, protesters. Walls is like a trend now everywhere. How to close the borders to protect the country and the house from the foreigners, from the outside, from the virus. But they don't see that the virus is inside the houses, it's inside the body, inside their house, inside their body. So no way to escape it, no way. So it's not the blame on the foreigners and the refugees and the migrants. Come on.
Yeah, virus has a kind of become a figure of the 21st century in a way. Like it also doesn't care about walls, right? It's
Yes,
some
of
sort of a
course.
Trojan horse.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
I don't want to make you feel guilty, but we all speak over here, from a point of privilege. So we're lucky enough, to be healthy and with not so many walls. Dangerous walls around us.
Mm.
So I don't know. Perhaps this guilt makes us more. Makes us feel like as we need to be more useful or more. I don't know. More something.
More something. We have to be more something. I like this. I agree.
We're going to round off in a few minutes, so maybe we still have a space for 2 or 3 questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, since we're still in your virtual workspace, I'm wondering, well, how do you usually, do you regularly, do you have a studio? Do you work in a studio? Like, I'm wondering what, on the one hand, what is your real life studios or atelier, and what would be the one that you would wish to have or you would wish to imagine?
When I started doing theater, I have always this dream that I want like my own theater, small theater, like where we can do experiences, tryouts, do our own things. But of course, like it's every theater maker, artist, actor, director dreams. Like it's like a common dream. So what I want to say that in Lebanon, where I started doing art and theater, mainly theater, there was no fund and no support, financial support from the government, from the state. Anyway, at that time when I started, there was no Ministry of Culture, even Ministry of Culture, even. It became later. But anyway, we had to find our ways how to do theater, to find the money to do theater, and I'm not very good on finding money, so I was doing theater from my own money, which is not much. I was working a full-time job, and from this job, in my free time, I do theater. So I was like amateur in theater because I have a full-time job, and which is not theater. I collect money to do theater in my free time. And later I noticed that I had this way to produce theater and artworks with a very, very low budget. And when I started, luckily, to have producers outside Lebanon give me money to do works, I discovered that I don't know how to use the money to produce works. I don't know. I'm still attached to this idea how to do art with very little money, not to go with like big budgets. I encourage also, like, this is like another system how and another way to deal with the market as well, and with authorities who has the money and give money to produce art. So when you free yourself from the market, from the authority of the money, from those who have the money to give it, then art will be also in a different ways, like be lighter and will be more, I think, more interesting, because it's like it has a freedom to do whatever you want. The artist, like, it's this is my thinking, and And of course, I didn't have the chance until today. I don't have a studio. And now, when I had the chance to have a studio, I don't want to have a studio because I want to keep this idea of producing with a low budget in order to keep my freedom, a freedom of choices, to choose what I want to do and what I don't want to do, and not to reach this point where, like, oh, I don't have a choice. I have to find work. I have to take any chance just to live. I refuse to do art in this way. I refuse. It should be from my own initiative, from my own choice. And this is why I keep this. I don't have a studio, although everywhere is a studio for me. Even like when I do a theater piece in studio, and if I will do one day in studio, it will be my studio as well. Studio is the theater in Warsaw, just for those who doesn't know. So it was this theater, which is called studio, it will be my studio. And this is something that I do. Like my kitchen is my studio, my bedroom is my studio. I work everywhere. And of course, the laptop helping a lot, because also you do a lot of work on the laptop. But also I do a lot of physical works, like collages with works, with papers, like with my hands. I do a lot of physical things. It's not only digital things. And but just like to briefly say, I don't have a studio. And my studio is everywhere. It's my home is my studio. I work everywhere in every corner, and I would love to keep this idea, like, where, like, I'm not obliged to augment, to make it the budget to keep my art life on a standard, like, so you need like this amount of money. No, I try my best, like, to keep it on a zero level, like on a zero euros, $0, zero whatever, and you can still do art. And this is something essential for me. I don't want to wait for a production to do a video. I can do a video in my home. And this video that I showed you, it really costs nothing. It's just like, okay, I have the laptop, I have the software. Maybe some people, they don't have it. Okay. But still, it's a very low budget, still almost zero, almost. Let's say it like this.
I would say that those words were words of AQ, adaptability, intelligence, flexibility, Darwinism, which is a crucial thing, I feel, nowadays. I met a friend of mine, a Greek performer, a very good Greek performer yesterday, and he has been telling me that he stopped being an actor lately, or not that active, but he started a whole treatment of coaching. So he's to become a coach, and of this term, adaptability, intelligence, which is something that sounds somehow useful or even essential.
Yeah.
That you have always been like that, Rabih. I cannot remember the name of this very famous Lebanese poet who is saying that we are men and we are not trees, so we don't need to stay somewhere for all our lives. We need to. I'm now, yeah.
I'm not sure he's a Lebanese.
Yes, he is a Lebanese.
Poet. Really?
But I don't remember. Yeah.
Ah, okay, it's nice. It's nice. I don't know. But yes, we are not tree. We are not the trees. So the roots, it's like everywhere. So you can move. It's not you are stay there, like, which is nice picture. But I will ask for this poet to see.
I'm gonna search right now. Yeah, okay.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
Unfortunately, we need to finish, and thank you all for this wonderful talk.
Thank you.
To conclude, I will read a comment, Rabih, that is written after the presentation of your video.
Okay.
It's by Eleftheria, and she writes, "The memory of the body knows, the body is free. Your art video was a piece of art, a metaphor of a Guernica. We are all under a dictatorship of a virus."
Wow. Thank you so much. It's nice ending. Thank you.
It's funny because Eleftheria is also a great Greek performer who had to move to Sweden.
Ah, okay.
It's also not a tree.
So, hello, Aliftaritas. Hello. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again for the conversation. Have a great evening.
Great, thanks. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Soon. Thank you, Rabih. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Eliana. Bye.